Hello my friends, and welcome back to my little channel. As I always say at the beginning of the videos, you can probably tell by the title of the video, because you clicked on it, that this is a recreation of the house from Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a really good TV show. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend watching it. I actually haven't finished it yet. I think I'm at like the beginning of season 4 or something, and I haven't gotten around to finishing it yet. So that being said, I probably won't say any spoilers. Also, don't share any spoilers because I haven't seen the last season yet, because I believe there is 5 seasons. But anyway, it is a really, really good TV show. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely not family friendly is what I would say, but it's a really interesting TV show. I think they talk about some really interesting things. It's pretty funny oftentimes, and it's a really creative idea in my opinion. I don't know how accurate it is based on, like, I don't know, real life, but it's a really good show. Anyway, one thing that I'm really happy about with this specific build is that I think this build, like this recreation build, as opposed to my other recreation builds that I've been doing quite a few recently. I think this one is the most accurate to the actual TV show, and that's because they spend a lot of time in the house. Like, most of the TV show, if not, I mean, I would say probably at least 70% of the show is them in you know, their little house. So it made it really easy to just be able to make it look identical, or close to identical, to the actual show, which is really cool. Because something that I have issues with when I've been doing recreation builds in the past is that either, like, the floor plans just literally don't work, like it's not a real house, you know, and so certain things just don't make sense. Or, like, they don't work, or they don't show everything, I mean, like, they might only show half the house, you know. But I think the only thing they haven't really shown in the TV show is, like, the garage, you know, which I assume is just like an average looking garage, and kind of the bathrooms. They don't really show the bathrooms too much, but, you know, they're just bathrooms. Other than that, I guess Walter Jr.'s room, maybe not so much, but they do show it a little bit, so I was able to kind of really model it after the house, which I thought was really cool. When you're in there, I think it almost feels like you're kind of like in the TV show, which was super exciting. The only thing that's not totally accurate is the outside, because, like, we don't really have the textures that are required for, like, the way that it looks. I did decide not to do it in the desert world, because even though the show is based in New Mexico, which is obviously desert, I felt like the look of it just wasn't the same, so I decided to do it, I think, in Willow Creek, I believe, from memory, and then I kind of just tried to make it look similar with textures. So yeah. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say in terms of textures. I mean, like, if you look at the house from the outside, they have, like, gravel and, like, rocks instead of grass because, you know, droughts and stuff. So I did try to, if you can see, make it look like kind of just rocks. I did add in a few plants and stuff, but I tried to make them look like they were, like, drought-resistant plants, you know, like cacti, whatever, and stuff like that. So yeah, the outside I felt like was pretty good, except for whatever. So here I'm doing, like, the sizing up cars, which, you know, is something that a lot of people have done. I tried to make the cars look similar to what they drive in the TV show, but of course there's only like 2 or 3 cars that you can size up, so it's not totally accurate, but again, I did my best. But talking about cars, I am recording this like late October, so I'm going to post it before the new update and before the release of Get Famous, and something that I know a lot of people have been talking about because they talked about it in the live stream, like the Sim Gurus and stuff. Plus, there's apparently a ton of cars in, I think it's Del Sol Valley is the new world, is the fact that people want cars in The Sims, even if they don't work, you know? And I completely agree. I would love to have cars. I mean, okay, so the thing is, is that my favorite thing about The Sims 3 was the open world. I think I've mentioned this before, so I don't want to like talk about it too much and be boring, but I loved the open world. I think it is probably the best part of The Sims 3 is just the fact that you can just like go wherever you want and do whatever you want. And I think that not having it in The Sims 4 really limits like gameplay. So for example, I was playing a family a few weeks ago, days ago, whatever, and I had them living in Brindleton Bay, the world from Cats and Dogs, and they were living like in one of the areas, and I wanted them to go visit a neighbor because one of my characters, one of my Sims, was in the politician career, and so he had to like do the cause thing or whatever. And so I had him go over, and so basically what he does is he walks all the way from his house to the neighbor's house, like literally almost up to the front door, and then we have to sit through a loading screen. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You mean, like, I don't know. Whatever. I know that there's limitations with game building and stuff, so I'm not blaming the Sims creators. I'm just saying I think that that's a serious limitation of the game, and I really wish that wasn't the case. Regardless, I don't know if the Sims are bringing cars. I think a lot of people have been like suggesting that they are in the next expansion or game pack or stuff pack or whatever, just because there are so many cars in the new world. But I don't know. Let me know what you think, because I'm kind of interested. I don't really know if that's going to be the case. Obviously, I don't have any like insider information or whatever, but I would. So actually, okay, what I would really like would be an open world, but that's not going to happen in The Sims 4. Pretty sure, you know. So sometimes you just got to take what you can get. But anyway, now that I have opened up the conversation for Get Famous, I would like to hear your thoughts. It obviously hasn't come out. I haven't played it. Very few people have played it so far, you know, just the people who go to Sims Camp and stuff. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, because I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet. I personally tend to not watch a ton of those like early release videos, because I'd rather just like play it myself and form my own opinions, you know, when it finally does come out. But I know a lot of people really do like watching those kind of videos, and they are kind of cool to get to see if it's something you want to buy, you know, because it's obviously a bit of a financial investment to buy something that's, what is it, like $40 or something. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, because I'm pretty interested. I'm hoping that the build buy items are going to be really good. I've heard that the Create a Sim items are going to be really good, which is very exciting. The biggest critique that I've heard so far is the size of the world, which I totally agree. It's tiny. The world looks really small, and I know that they put a lot of detail in it and stuff, so, like, I don't know. Again, sometimes you just have to take what you can get, but then at the same time, like, it's $40. That's kind of a lot of money for most people, you know. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Maybe once it comes out, I'll do more of a, not review, because the reviews are all already out, you know, but maybe I'll talk about it more. I'm obviously going to do a build featuring it when it first comes out, like a Hollywood Mansion or something, because that's probably the most self-explanatory kind of creation, and I'm sure that's probably like what everybody's going to do. But yeah, maybe I'll talk about it more then. Let me know. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. But also, going back to this build, because we are now 8 minutes in and I haven't really even talked about the interior yet, one thing you might be kind of confused about is that bright green room divider, and I'm also confused by it. It's in the show. Like, if you look at the living room in the show, they have like 2 bright green room dividers. And I'm just like, why? Like, I don't know. It's kind of just really ugly. I don't know. The style of the house isn't necessarily the style that I would choose. It's very, like, I would say Western inspired. You know, there's a lot of kind of, in the house, there's a lot of, like, Native American looking art, and also very, like, I guess I would say Chicano would be the term. I'm not totally sure if that's completely accurate. Let me know if that's not the right term that I'm thinking of. But yeah, they have a lot of that kind of style in the house, which is kind of cool. Also, they live in New Mexico, so, like, it makes sense. But yeah, not totally sure why we have that bright green room divider. It's very bright. in the show, it kind of draws my attention. So I was glad that we had something similar in the game to make it more accurate, but it's honestly kind of ugly. I don't know why it's like that. But anyway, we're going around and just doing some decorating now. Like I said, I'm really proud of this build because I feel like it's really accurate to the show, because I was able to really just, there's basically shots of the house from almost every single angle, so I was able to pretty much make it look very identical to the TV show. That being said, of course, some things just like aren't the right style, you know, like here they have pictures of each of the family members, which I don't. You can't really have something like that without custom content. So I just put those little pair pictures because we just don't have anything like that. Sorry, I had a little cough. We are just finishing up decorating, and then there's the second little bright green thing that I don't understand. And then we are going to move on to the bedroom soon. The only thing about Holly's room, the little baby, was that we don't have any wallpaper that's similar to what the show actually looks like. So I basically just ended up making the colors of the room very similar, if that makes sense, because her room is basically like pink and bright green, and we just honestly don't have anything like that. So instead of, you know, just making it all pink or all green, I just kind of tried to make the feel of the room look pretty similar. We're now moving on to Walter Jr., or Finn, I guess is the other name he likes to be called, I think, from memory. We're moving on to his room. Again, another thing that was annoying is that they don't really have anything, any beds that are similar to his bed in the show. So again, I just tried to make it look as close as possible. There's only like a few shots of of his room in the show, at least thus far. Basically just when they're looking at the computer for like the donation thing, you know? And so it's only really from like one angle. So again, I just tried to make it look as close as possible. I did my best. I hope you like it. If not, let me know and I don't know. I guess it'd be too late to fix it, but whatever. That being said, that reminds me. I have done some Harry Potter recreations in the somewhat distant past. And after I posted those seemed to get the most, I don't want to say views, but just the most, like, people like the Harry Potter builds more than they like other stuff. And just by comments and views and all that kind of stuff. And I personally love to build Harry Potter stuff. Like, Harry Potter is like my favorite thing ever. And so I definitely am wanting to build more Harry Potter stuff. And my original idea was that I was going to try to build each of the common rooms, just like literally as a room build, not a house build, you know? But I am working on a bigger Harry Potter project that would encompass all of the common rooms plus other stuff. I was gonna start building it, and then we got a notice of the update that has terrain tools. So I'm gonna wait till that update, and then because it'll make my build much more accurate and dynamic. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for right now. If you know what I'm hinting at, good for you. It's not 100% yet, so I don't want to say what it is because it's honestly going to be such a thing. Like, it's a huge build. It's going to take me so much time and effort. I've already started doing the floor plans, and that's like a whole thing. So yeah, look forward to that, because if it happens, and I think it will, it is going to be a really cool build. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say for right now. But look forward to it because I think it is going to be very cool. Anyway, so, but yeah, that's why I haven't really had any more Harry Potter builds, because at first I was like, I had floor plans and I was like going to build it and post it, and then we got notification of the update, and I was like, just wait, like it'll be so much better after the update happens. So expect it in like maybe December would be my estimation, and I think it'll be very cool. Just saying. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that matter. We are now moving on to the master bedroom. Their master bedroom is actually really plain and boring. to be honest, which is kind of weird. I was kind of trying to just keep it like as what it is, you know, and make it accurate, but it's like kind of really boring. So yeah, just, I'm sorry it doesn't look very good, but that's kind of just like what it is in the show. But yeah, we're going around. I did include laundry because why not? Yeah, the video's just about to come to a close pretty soon. So if you have any feedback on the build or anything you would like me to try to recreate, please let me know. I have a pretty long list of projects that I'm kind of working on. I obviously have, you know, like other responsibilities. I'm a student, so I can't just like make stuff all the time, or else I wouldn't be getting my homework done and all that kind of stuff. But I have a list of stuff. I have this really bad habit where I'm like, wow, this is a really good idea, I should do this, and then I start a build, and then I'm like, wow, I have another cool idea, I'm going to do that instead. So I have about like 5 unfinished projects that are all really cool, but I just need to finish them. So yeah, look out for some cool builds because they're coming out. I'm just being a little slow about it. We have now moved on to the screenshots, as you can obviously see. Like I said, please let me know if you have any suggestions or comments or anything like that. And one thing that I want to start doing on my channel, because I think it'll be really cool, is doing like a question of the video thing. There's a little bit of background behind this, is that I used to be like the president of this organization, like student organization, and when we had meetings, I would start by asking everybody just like a stupid, silly question, because it helps people make friends, it helps you get to know each other, you know. And I've seen a few YouTubers basically do the same thing, where at the end of videos they'll ask like a silly question and ask the people who are watching to answer. So I think I'm going to start doing that because I think it's a good idea, and it's a good way to just like get to know people and make friends and all that kind of stuff. So the question for this video is what's your favorite like old movie? And it has to be like pre-1990s. And my answer would be The Princess Bride. It's kind of weird because like, yeah, I mean it's a good movie, but it's kind of, I don't know if a lot of other people would have that opinion, but yeah, I just think it's a really good classic. I've only seen it, honestly, like a few times, but every time I see it, I just think it's really cool. So please comment in the comment section down below what your favorite old movie is, and we can talk about it. And I hope you have a great day.